Welcome to Teen Sawal Seedhe Jawab, a special initiative by the Mission Energy Foundation that puts the spotlight on issues that are on top of the mind today for sustainable development, a nurturing environment and clean energy. This initiative shall read the minds of thought leaders, stakeholders and policymakers on the planned roadmap for India to become Atmanirbhar Bharat.
We have with us Mr. M.S. Unnikrishnan, MD and CEO of Thermax Limited, joining us. Mr. Unnikrishnan, thank you so much for speaking with Mission Energy Foundation. Now, it has become quite clear by the government that the deadline for the FGD installation will not be extended. Then why are the contracts so low? Why is tendering not picking up?
Well, tendering had really picked momentum in the last year. They had the lot 1, lot 2, lot 3 and even lot 4 concluded. But COVID is certainly going to be impacting it further. But one should remember these lots are only meant for NTPC and 2 of the central organization, Neyveli Lignite Corporation and Damodar Valley Corporation. The equal number of power plants are running owned by the state governments of this country, and none of them have come out with the tender. So there, it's very clear, none of them have money to run the power plants. At the end of the year, they have to be asking state governments to make good for the losses made. So this additional capital cost and also the revenue cost is going to be adding as a burden. Though there is an NGT order, Supreme Court order, I do believe that things are happening at the ground level, like many other stipulations from the upper parts of the country. That is a reality.
Right. What will need to be done to get the power producers, the state power producers also in line and start working towards the reduction of emissions? You said the NGT and the Supreme Court are not relenting. They're broke. You still have to adhere to the deadline.
It is equivalent to what we had at the time when COVID started, what the Prime Minister told, life versus livelihood. If one were to recognize that gaseous pollution coming out of the power plants related to sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxide, SOxes and NOxes, will threaten life, then we are going to give a priority for it. But since predominant part of them are owned by the state, you can't say implement it but find your own way to get it done, because these are all political dilemmas of a country where even today there is an under-recovery in the entire power sector across the country, whether it's state or center. The average cost of generation of electricity in the country, even after solar coming into the country, average is still remaining at 3.7 to 3.8 rupees cost of generation. And the recovery is not crossed 3.25 rupees. So that delta of a 50 paisa per unit of electricity is government is paying, which taxpayer is paying for it. Unless you make them commercially viable, if they were making profits, state electricity boards were making profit, you can stop their plant if they don't implement it. When you know that it is, they would rather shut down. This is a condition that you could understand. So that is where it's not pollution alone. It is the overall viability of the plant is what is the current challenge. If you ask me as an Indian, I would have been wanting to implement it in stages because we have limited money available. We lived this power plants for so many years with all the pollution going on. So we should have taken certain calculated call as to for each of the sector, each of the areas, what is the time frame going to be available. Otherwise, once you permit defiance of an NGT order, that means not only this order, many such orders will remain on paper and will not get implemented. Whereas there should be the ultimate word in the country. So this is my opinion. Well, we are going to find ways and means. See, if it had been a productive asset, the pollution control asset doesn't produce anything. It adds on to the capital cost and the revenue cost. So the owner of the power plant may be in the state sector, central sector or private sector, will always want to avoid it. That is the reality at the ground level.
Right. So then what is the way out? And now there is, the deadline is not moving. There is a national resolve to shun Chinese equipment suppliers. Will indigenously developed technology or the solutions be enough to meet the needs of the power sector? Should more of these state utilities also decide to go in for the FGDs?
We will have surplus capacity in our country for FGDs. Nothing to worry on that count. We did not have technology in the beginning. So we have had technology tie-ups done by Indian companies or international companies coming and setting up their offices and capabilities over here. Yeah, it is true that the first batch of the first round is yet to be commissioned. It will happen the next year. I'm very confident about it. Absorption of technology has already happened, and I'm very happy to say that we have already received 2 orders for 500 megawatt in 2 numbers for 2 different sites. Engineering is almost completed. Approvals are going on. The moment the customer is ready, because cash flows have to match up with the entire project execution, we are ready. I'm talking the ground level reality. Knowledge is already in existence, and manufacturing capability is already in existence, barring one specific item, which possibly India would have imported from China because that's available cheap. But you can get it from some other countries. So moving forward, that one item only needs to be imported, which is fundamentally for corrosion resistant inside lining to be provided. And the process in India is a little crude to make. Not that Indians won't do that. With China, ban going to happen, Indians are learning very quickly. The next lot that is going to be coming out, I'm sure it will be real Atmanirbhar Bharat only. Everything will be made in India.
Right. So can you give us an estimate of what is the market opportunity for FGDs over the next 5 years for Indian producers in this Atmanirbhar campaign, sir?
I'll have to give you some arithmetic for it and then evolve and just instead of giving you a number. See, in the price discovery that has happened in the last 4 tender openings, different lots that has happened, the price of the FGD varied between maybe a 45 lakhs a megawatt all the way up to a 1 crore per megawatt, because the scope of work and the complication of that particular existing site, it's not a new site happening. So I would take for safe purposes a 50 to 60 lakh rupees per megawatt as an average cost of it. So believing that average size of a plant today is 1,000 megawatt, let's say 1,000 to 1,300 megawatt. So you're talking about anywhere between maybe a 600 to 700 crore is the total investment needed per plant. And imagining that at least maybe 3 to 4 of them will go every year minimum. So you're talking about a 5,000 rupees into 5 is 25,000 crore at the lowest. Can be all the way up to 100,000 lakh crore also, but that much of money we don't have. So I would presume that we're talking about equivalent to a 5,000 to 6,000 crore per annum, means 25 to 30,000 crore in the next 5 year period.
All right, Mr. Unnikrishnan, thank you so much for speaking with us and sharing with us your thoughts on this important development in the power sector. Many thanks for speaking with the Mission Energy Foundation.
Thank you, Anisha. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.